I've reached a point I never thought I'd get to, a breaking point. For years, I've felt like an outsider in my own family, ignored, forgotten, dismissed. I've been married for 15 years to the woman I've known since I was 8 years old. Together, we have 3 daughters, 17, 14, and 11. But instead of feeling like a husband or father, I feel like an ATM, a taxi driver, and sometimes just a ghost in my own house. My wife hasn't kissed me in 6 months. She hasn't told me she loves me in a year and a half. No matter how much I try, whether it's planning family outings, suggesting dates, or even small gestures of love, it always gets shot down, dismissed, or simply forgotten. I've never been the kind of man to yell, lose my temper, or get physical. I've tried to show love through actions. Birthdays, holidays, and special moments. I always went out of my way. I planned parties, gave thoughtful gifts, and did everything I could to make them feel special. In return, I'd get a half-hearted thanks, maybe a quick side hug that lasted less than a second. This Father's Day was the moment everything broke inside me. I woke up to an empty house. No note, no plans, nothing written on the calendar, nothing mentioned in the days leading up to it. I texted my wife, and her reply crushed me. Took the girls out for a spa day. Don't wait up. That was it. Later that night, they came home smiling, talking about how their day went. They told me they had already eaten at one of my favorite restaurants of all places. I wasn't invited, I wasn't acknowledged, not even a simple Happy Father's Day, not an I love you, not a hug, just nothing. 3 days later came my birthday. Again, silence. No plans, no cake, no surprise. I tried to make suggestions myself. Maybe we could order food, watch a movie together, do anything at all. Every idea was met with no, or I'm busy. Instead, they sat around scrolling on their phones while I sat there invisible on my own birthday. And then came the final blow. Lying in bed, my wife rolled over and in the most dismissive tone said, "Oh, your birthday was the other day. I guess you expect sex." Something broke inside me in that moment. I told her, "No, I don't expect sex. I don't expect anything anymore." She looked confused. What's that supposed to mean? So I asked her questions. When was the last time we kissed? She guessed a week ago. The truth, it was months ago, at her parents' holiday party back in December. When was the last time we were intimate? She swore it was earlier this year. The truth, it's been over a year. She argued, saying, "No, we were together in February." I told her flat out, "Maybe you had sex in February, but it wasn't with me." When was the last time she told me she loved me? She insisted she said it all the time. I told her to check her messages, that she never says it to me face to face. Her reply? "Well, you should just know I do." When was the last time we went on a date? Silence. That's when my emotions overwhelmed me. I was crying, my voice raised for the first time in years. I told her how much it hurt that I wasn't being seen, that I wasn't being loved. I reminded her that I never miss an event for our kids, never put work above family, always made time, and yet I was treated like I didn't exist. And then I said it. I'm not an ATM, I'm not a taxi service, I'm not invisible. If you want to pretend I don't exist, you don't have to anymore. That night, just before midnight, I walked out of the house, and I didn't go back. For the first time in 15 years, I drank. I needed to quiet the storm in my head. It was the first time I'd had alcohol in over a decade and a half, and it will be the last. The next morning, I expected calls, messages, something, but there was almost nothing. One message from my wife. "I'm sorry for making you feel that way. We all love you, and we're here for you when you want to come home and talk." That was it. Nothing else. Not a call from my daughters, though they all have phones. No real effort, nothing that made me feel like I was wanted back. That silence told me everything. I reached out for therapy through work. They connected me with both counseling and legal resources. I even spoke to divorce lawyers, not because I want to end my marriage, but because I needed to understand my options. Meanwhile, after a few days of my absence, my daughters finally reached out. They were worried, they said. I told them I was okay, that I loved them, but I needed space. For the first time in years, I missed their extracurricular activities. That absence hit them hard. They finally understood that something was deeply wrong. My wife began reaching out too. More apologies, more check-ins. She even mentioned the 4th of July, a holiday we usually host with a big barbecue. She said she had been planning a surprise birthday party for me on that day, to make up for forgetting my actual birthday. But I had already left by then, and the damage was done. When we finally sat down to talk, she brought the kids with her. I told her I wanted us to speak alone, but she brushed it off, saying, "They miss you, it's fine." To me, it felt manipulative, another dismissal of my feelings. I told her clearly, if you want this marriage, things must change. Real change. No more empty words. I handed her 2 folders, one with a separation agreement, the other with referrals for therapy, both individual and couples. I told her to decide. She chose therapy. We started individual and couples counseling. I used the gray rock method, keeping myself calm and detached, not reacting to her attempts to downplay things. I needed her to see how serious this was. I discovered that after my mother passed away, I fell into a deep depression. And instead of being my partner, my wife checked out of the marriage completely. Somewhere in that time, the woman I loved disappeared. The darkest part came when I admitted to my therapist how close I came to ending everything. I thought my family would be happier without me, that I was the problem, that maybe my wife already had a replacement lined up. What stopped me wasn't therapy, it wasn't reason, it was my youngest daughter. She's the one who made me feel loved, the one who refused to let me disappear quietly. I could hear her voice in my head, begging me to stay. That's what pulled me back from the edge. In therapy, I unloaded everything. The neglect, the loneliness, the suspicion of infidelity, the years of pain. My wife was horrified, though part of me still questions whether her reaction was guilt or genuine shock. She promised she hadn't cheated. I found no evidence otherwise. But trust, once shattered, doesn't rebuild overnight. My daughters started to understand. My 17-year-old saw me cry for the first time when she picked me up after a heated session. That moment changed something between us. My younger two hugged me, not the cold side hugs I was used to, but real hugs that lingered. And for the first time in years, I felt like maybe, just maybe, they saw me. My wife is trying now. She set up therapy for herself. She planned a date for us. She shows more effort. But I can't ignore the question that keeps haunting me. Why did it take me breaking down, walking out, and nearly ending my life for her to finally care? I'm home again, but I sleep in a separate room. Some changes are happening, but time will tell if they last. Therapy is helping me find myself again. My therapist told me that I've been acting a role for so long, provider, father, husband, that I don't even know who I am anymore. And maybe she's right. I love my kids. I love the woman I married, though I don't know if she still exists. I don't know what the future holds. All I know is that I refuse to live invisible anymore. Time will tell if my family truly wants me, or if I've already been gone in their hearts for a long time. Sometimes telling a story like this feels like reopening a wound. But if you stayed until the end, thank you. It means a lot. Please leave a comment with your thoughts, hit the like button, and subscribe to support more stories like this one.